After 2 decades of anticipation and countless delays, the Grand Egyptian Museum is finally having its grand reveal. The museum, which is set to officially open, highlights Egypt's ancient civilization and is a centerpiece of the government's drive to boost the tourist industry, a major source of foreign currency in the cash-strapped country. Located just outside Cairo next to the famed Giza Pyramids, the $1 billion mammoth facility is poised to become the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization with over 50,000 artifacts detailing life in ancient Egypt. By comparison, the Louvre Museum in Paris has about 35,000 pieces on display. The museum is one of the mega projects championed by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who since taking office in 2014 embarked on massive investments in infrastructure with the aim of reviving an economy weakened by decades of stagnation and battered by the unrest that followed the 2011 Arab Spring uprising. The museum's construction began in 2005, but work halted for 3 years amid the political turmoil that followed the 2011 uprising. The grand opening was postponed multiple times, most recently in July this year, because of conflicts in the Middle East. The opening ceremony is scheduled for Saturday, with world leaders expected to attend.
This coming Saturday is the day that everyone is waiting, the opening of the Grand Museum. Why this museum is so important and everyone is waiting for the opening? Because of Tutankhamun. And also, it is the largest museum in the world. This museum is really making all the objects to be alive because of the display, because of the wonderful. It's in the shadow of the Great Pyramid of Khufu. Egypt will gain a lot from the opening of this museum.
Designed by the Irish firm Hennigan Pung Architects, the museum, known as GM, boasts a towering triangular glass facade imitating the nearby pyramids. In its entrance atrium stands a granite colossus of one of Egypt's most famed pharaohs, Ramesses the Great. The 3,200-year-old, 36-foot-tall statue was moved to the museum after decades of standing in the center of a traffic-clogged roundabout in front of Cairo's main train station. From the atrium, a grand 6-story staircase lined with ancient statues leads up to the main galleries and a view of the pyramids. A bridge links the museum to the nearby pyramids, allowing tourists to move between them either on foot or via electric, environment-friendly vehicles, according to museum officials.
The world has been waiting for this museum to open up for a few years. Everyone's excited, and we hope to see an influx of tourists coming to Cairo, not just to see the wonders of Cairo, but to visit this new and amazing building with artifacts that are second to none.
The museum includes 24,000 square meters of permanent exhibition space, a children's museum and conference and educational facilities, and a commercial area as well as a large conservation center. The 12 main galleries, which opened last year, exhibit antiquities spanning from prehistoric times to the Roman era, organized by era and by themes. Many of the 50,000 artifacts in the GM were moved from the Egyptian Museum, a packed, century-old building in downtown Cairo's Tahrir Square. Others were recently unearthed from ancient cemeteries, including the Saqqara Necropolis, another complex of pyramids and tombs about 14 miles south of the museum. The grand opening is also to bring the inauguration of 2 halls dedicated to the 5,000 artifacts from the collection of King Tutankhamun. The collection is being displayed in its entirety for the first time since British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered King Tut's tomb in 1922 in the southern city of Luxor. The old Egyptian museum didn't have enough space to show all the treasures found in the tomb at once. Some masterpieces from the tomb were restored at the museum's conservation center, including the boy pharaoh's 3 funeral beds and 6 chariots, said Jailam Mohammed, chief restorer at the conservation center. They will be displayed along with his golden throne, his gold-covered sarcophagus, and his burial mask, made of gold, quartzite, lapis lazuli, and color glass. The mask's beard was accidentally knocked off and hastily glued back on with epoxy in 2014, before a German-Egyptian team of experts fixed it the following year. Another centerpiece of the museum is the 4,600-year-old solar boat of King Khufu, the pharaoh who is credited with building the Great Pyramid of Giza. The 43-meter-long wooden boat, discovered in the 1950s, was buried next to the Great Pyramid for Khufu's, as he is also known to use in the afterlife. In 2021, it was moved from its display site by the pyramids into the Grand Egyptian Museum on a remote-controlled vehicle imported from Belgium. The government hopes the museum will draw more tourists who will stay for a while and provide the foreign currency Egypt needs to shore up its economy. The tourism sector suffered from years of political turmoil and violence following the 2011 Arab Spring uprising. In recent years, the sector has started to recover from a coronavirus pandemic and the effects of Russia's war on Ukraine. Both Russia and Ukraine are a major source of tourists visiting Egypt. A record number of 15.7 million visited the country in 2024. According to official figures, the government aims to attract 30 million visitors by 2032.
A museum with this size is expected to increase the number of tourists to Egypt. This is already happening in the transitional or the soft opening period we're having, but we're anticipating that this will increase definitely the numbers of tourists coming to Egypt by at least 10% or 20%.
Authorities overhauled the whole area around the museum and the pyramids. Roads were paved and a metro station is being constructed outside the museum gates to ease access to the sites. An airport, Sphinx International Airport, was also opened west of Cairo, 40 minutes from the museum. Will you visit the museum? Let us know in the comments section. And do subscribe to NO Intervals for more such uninterrupted news.